Hi Virgo, welcome to your mid-July 2021 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. Hey, I got your card. That was the first card that I picked. What do you think about them apples? Wow, Major Arcana much? Yeah, baby. This seems like this is a change agent time for you. Well, even with the eclipses being in immutable signs in Sag in June and I'm sorry, in Gemini in June and Sag in May, these do form squares to Virgo, and that really spurs you to action because there's friction there. There's like things are clashing. So we're still kind of in eclipse season because the eclipse energy can last longer than the typical new moon or full moon. So, just think about, let's see. So the Gemini one actually fell in your 10th house of career. So that might have been a new direction that you had wanted to go into. So let's see what the cards say. I'm going to bring the past position first, actually. So in the past position, we have the World card. So this may have meant that you were closing a chapter in your life in some way. Going back to May, being that the eclipse was in the 4th house of home and family, and for some of you, this fell in the 3rd house, which is your local area, so that could have a similar theme. There may have been some change of residence, or at least the realization that you're going to be doing that at some point. And that is perfectly how it should be, because the eclipses connect with, destiny. And sometimes we have to be nudged into certain actions because we're kind of clinging to the past, right? So the heart of the matter is the Hermit card. And so this is about soul searching for Virgo. What is the thing that is really where you're needing guidance? If you see the star inside of the lantern, the Hermit is looking towards the inner light. Their inner light, their inner guidance to illuminate their path. And that's why hermits, monks, whatever you want to call them, even nuns maybe, really embraced the solitude, the solitary life, is because, or, we can even say witches. I have like a negative interaction with that word. It's like I don't even like to say it. And I think that I was burned at the stake, in another lifetime. I don't know. It's a sore subject for me, I guess. But, and I let's just say, I don't even like that word though. Let's just say solitary mystics in general. But the archetype of the witch, especially the older woman, what do they call it, the crone, and she lives on the edge of town, so she doesn't live among the people in the mass settlement. And the whole point is that she is someone who is deriving her wisdom from her solitude. And so that's why I would say to anyone where that applies to is that that sense of who you are you distill that in your solitude. Somebody who is a Virgo may have inner planets in Libra, which make them less like a hermit and more like this social butterfly type of person. And your moon sign can be any sign. Maybe it's Gemini. Maybe you're just like, you love having conversations with people, being a sign ruled by Mercury, and you just love that kind of thing to do. But the problem with it is that other people, they're sharing with you their way of doing things. And if your moon is in Pisces, maybe you're easily influenced by those around you. And so spending more time alone, cultivating that silence can be very important for you to hear the still small voice within you. And, talking also about that world card and what that represents. So let's say you're 22 years old and you've graduated college and you're like, now what? I don't know like how it is nowadays. All I know is that when I went back to college in my 30s and early 40s, it was like right before the crash in 2008. And it was like perfect timing, perfect timing to have a college degree finally after all these years. So somebody who's 22, I don't know if it's like, I just thought for sure you would be guaranteed a job. And it didn't work out that way. So is it different now? Since I graduated 14 years ago? Maybe, maybe not. With how things are, I have a feeling it's even more so not. And that's okay. Because maybe it's helping you in a higher way. Maybe there's something to this. That you were on a track that was a very conventional track. And you need to kind of recalibrate and see if this is really for you, whatever it is that you're doing. The higher message, Queen of Swords, she has to make a decision that's not an impassioned decision. She may have been through a lot. She may be still going through some things, but she knows that something is over with. And the Hermit can be also if you have separated from your partner and you're doing so that you can figure out what to, which direction to go in. And you may feel like you're not quite sure, that you're not quite sure what you should be doing at this point. And the Hermit, that contemplative nature, will help you to figure out what to do if you allow it. What crosses you is the Ace of Wands. This is a card of enthusiastic new beginnings. You may be, you may know that something's ending, but you don't know, which direction to go in. So it's hard to be enthusiastic about something. The best way to do that, Virgo, is to think about what makes your heart sing, what makes you full of joy, and see like how there might be some path that you can take that is a new path that is very supportive of, maybe starting a business, or if this is for declaring a major in college, like what is it that I'm really, interested in? Perhaps you have realized that you're not going to utilize that college degree because you have started working in a certain field and you just are not feeling it. And so I see the Ace of Wands as very independent, and that can be kind of unnerving for a Virgo because you're very compartmentalized and very organized, and it's very messy when you're launching something. Oops. What happened there? What the heck? It's just like, whoa. But anyway, you're just, you tend to be more by the book, that you just, there's just certain things that you represent, and that you go along with, and, to have everything be in an orderly fashion. When you work for yourself, you don't know if, when you're going to get your next payment. you know, that might be something that is hard to do. But, you know, the fact that I had that thing go around like that, maybe that's a message for you, not to fear chaos. That it was, you know, that things can happen at any time. I'm going to tell you, that is really strange, because I wasn't even touching my camera when that happened. What is coming in? The Lover's card. This can relate to... So what is coming in is the Lover's card. This can be a choice. This card is connected to Gemini. And so if we think about that solar eclipse that was in Gemini, that may have produced some sort of breakthrough with career matters, where now you have several offers, and that is very difficult for you, because you're like, okay, it's like the Seven of Cups. I'm surprised I didn't get that card. You know, what do I choose? So in those kinds of cases, you have to, again, go back to what is it, where are you at right now? What is good for you now is not necessarily what was good for you 10 years ago. If you're somebody who feels like you're having a midlife crisis and you're saying, oh, but I don't want to do this anymore, but I have a master's degree in it. And it's like, who cares? It doesn't matter, because if you're going into work every day and you don't feel aligned with what you're doing, that's a waste too. You know, if we just think of a waste as being, you know, financial in nature or time in nature, we're not looking at the energy behind it. What kind of energy is generated when you wake up in the morning and you feel like your stomach lurching, or you feel really drained, like you have no energy because you just don't like it, what you're doing. I just see that as being a waste of a life that has its limitations. I mean, we may be eternal souls, but we only have so many years on this planet in this incarnation. I mean, that's just straight up the truth. So what is going on? And if, for instance, there's somebody that you are separated from, or you're trying to decide, maybe you're feeling that your relationship has hit, I was going to say a plateau, but really like an end of an era. Like maybe you're dating someone and you've been dating for 2 years, but you just feel like you can't do it anymore at that casual level. But maybe you care about them, but you don't know, is this the one? The Lover's card can be getting intimate with someone. And obviously they got their clothes off, so people are going to jump to that, interpretation. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about emotionally, and just like telling it as it is, how you feel. I really want to be with you for the rest of my life. And I just can't do this anymore. I can't just date you and knowing that you're dating someone else and that you're just being frivolous when I'm serious, or I feel that you're frivolous with me. So I have to state this and let you know where I stand, because maybe you'll decide that you don't want to participate in anymore. Who knows? Maybe that person will be like, wow, you are in love with me, I'm in love with you. But anyway, the outcome is the Chariot card. This is a great card. This is a card of, being victorious in something. But it did come from, you did have to transcend duality in order to get there. So the white horse, the black horse, neither one of those are the answer. It's like, it's about, they're both valid. You know, sometimes the way society is nowadays, it wants us to take sides. And that is a dangerous thing to do, because there are so many things that are not black and white. They just aren't. And it's more comforting to think that things are that clear cut. And I understand why people are motivated to think that way, but it just isn't the truth. At least that's not my truth, is that everything is just like either right or wrong or good or bad. The thing that you think is bad could be the best thing in the long run for you. If you left a job, if you got fired, if the world card is that they canned you, maybe, probably not for incompetence, being a Virgo, but for some other reason, too much on the payroll, and that kind of hit you hard, understand that you were just given a gift by the universe, even if you can't see it in this moment. This can also indicate travel, as the world card can. All right, Virgo. Sorry that I missed you the last time for the end of June. June was a month of major vegetation for me, meaning that I was just time out of mind. I had an ear issue that was just keeping me, like unable to really think clearly. And even when I started doing the readings again, I wasn't up to speed, and I had other obligations with past clients that I had to take care of. So just wanted to apologize for that. So I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below. I'm an astrologer first and foremost, but I love the tarot as well. I do both in private readings. The link is below. Take care. Bye.